Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm meadsyreplays. Welcome back to the channel, and today we've got some OP replays. Yes, we don't do too many of these, but when I find the time, I do try and do as many as I can. I get a lot of emails from you guys, and I want to get as many on the channel. So do keep sending me your OP replays, and you never know, I just might use them. Of course, meadsyreplays@hotmail.com is the place to send. Even if I don't, I mean, sometimes I do look for replays, even if they're not OP, just to go into a video that I'm trying to make, like of a certain tank, etc. So you never know, I could use your replay, even if it's not mega damage. So the first replay we've got is a Chieftain T95. Not a tank that I find too fun. The more I see it, the more I play it, the more I do enjoy playing the tank. But yeah, it's not a tank that I've loved over the years that it's been in the game. But some people make the tank work. Some people really do make the tank work. The only thing I don't like is that hatch, because it's just too big. I'd like it if they did sort of reconstruct it, like make it a bit more difficult to penetrate. I don't want it impenetrable. I don't want it impenetrable, because then again we find ourselves in a situation where we've got another hull down tank. So I do like that the hatch is weak, but I just think maybe make it just a little bit stronger, and I think this tank would be perfect. It's got the quick rate of fire, only 5.1 seconds there on your reload. The speed's pretty good, DPM's pretty good, and overall the armor profile isn't so bad. So we're going to see this guy, and he's going to perform really well in this tank. Of course, he's done 1.5k damage at the moment, and there is 5 tanks left alive. Now the KV4 is also a very strong tank. It's been it's got some love from wargaming over the last year or so, and to be honest, it is quite a strong tank now. Again, not many people really like the KV4, but I like it. I like the KV4. I think it is a strong tank that just needs to be played correctly, and when played correctly, people realize actually this is a pretty strong tank. So far our guy has got 2.2k damage. The KV4 is on a one shot, and there he goes for his second kill. He's only lost around 700 hit points currently, and he's always picking the right targets. So now he's going for the Tiger 1, who of course isn't looking at him because he's dealing with the other Tiger. So he's just getting free damage right now. This is all free damage. Most of the kills that he's got, most of the damage that he's got has been free damage, because it's from tanks that are not even looking, and that's the way to play. I mean, why not? I mean, people might say, oh my god, he's just farmed that damage, but yeah, that's the whole point. But he's just chose his targets wisely, and that's what you got to do in this game. You got to choose your targets wisely, because I mean, going for a tank, especially something in a high DPM tank like this, if you say ignore that Tiger 1, and that sort of like the other Tiger's dealing with him, I'll go for someone else. And most people will go for a tank that's not attacking anything, so you'll be then in a 1 versus 1 battle with another tank. So of course you're losing hit points, your mate's losing hit points, your other mate who's going for another tank is losing hit points, so you're all losing hit points. Yes, you might all kill the tank that you're coming up against, but to do that, you've all just lost most of your hit points. So always choose your tanks wisely. Choose the tank that you're attacking wisely. And I am in the process of making another do's and don't do's videos. I've done a couple, they did really well, and the last one I did was a few years ago with fatness. So I am in the process of making like a do's and don't do's, and choosing your targets wisely is on that list. So always choose your targets wisely, and that's exactly what our guy did here. He chose the targets very wisely, and to the point that he was getting damage, he was killing, but no one was shooting him. And by the time that they were shooting him, they'd already lost most of their hit points. So yeah, the target choosing on this game was top notch. So now there's just one tank left alive, which is the SU-122, and unfortunately he's the J Panther 2 does die before he gets there, so he's now a 2-shot, but he's got to deal with a full hit point SU-122. It still does 400 plus alpha, so he's still a 2-shot, so he still has to be very, very careful. But what's benefiting him right now is he's over a ridge, so the SU can't get to him. He's over a ridge and he can't even get to his hatch because he's not letting him. He's taken the shot and then he's backing up, and now the SU has pushed forward, so he does get shot, and now he's actually going to get very lucky. He's going to push and he does get the ram, and that ram was very important because that brings him down to a 1-shot. If he wouldn't have got that ram damage, it would have been game over and it would have been a red win. So that ram there was very, very nice, and the fact that he stayed, most people would have just sort of backed up, run away, but no, he stayed, he fought, and he got 5,600 damage in a tank that doesn't usually perform too well, but he performed really, really well. Now next up we've got the grille. Again, I've got a video coming out in the next couple of days, maybe tomorrow, of the grille, and I still love this tank, and it needs some love, but when played correctly, this tank is still a beautiful tank, just like this waffle here. Yes, the waffle got nerfed not long ago, but it still plays fantastically well. The thing I love about the grille is the gun's its armor. Of course, it's got no armor, but because the gun is so big, you will bounce a lot of shots just from the gun, because people are going to switch to HE because they're aiming at a grille. Of course, you should switch to a HE when you're aiming at a grille, but I'd say a quarter of the time, not even a quarter, probably is a bit too much, but maybe twice out of 10 times, people shooting HE will shoot your gun and you'll get block damage. And it's very annoying when it does happen to you, but I mean, I played the grille the other day and I come up against the grille and I did exactly the same. I was literally point blank as well, but he was moving his turret, he was moving his gun, and I shot HE at his gun. So when you are in that situation, it probably is best just to shoot a bit of AP into the grille. Don't risk it, because the grille has that fantastic gun, fantastic big gun that can block everything that comes its way. So the grille, how to play the grille. Now, of course, because it doesn't have that armor profile, you really do need to sit at the back. You need to sit behind your team and you need to support your team. Whether that be your mediums or your heavies, you need to sit in a bush, and you've got the accuracy, you've got the aim time, you've got the alpha. Of course, the next update, you are going to lose some alpha, but it's still going to play pretty much the same as it plays now. And yeah, I mean, later on in the game, if you've saved your hit points, you can get around the map, and if there is only a couple of tanks left alive and they're heavy tanks that are slow, you can outmaneuver them. I mean, you've got the ability to get around the map very, very quickly, and that is the one thing I love. That is why I love this tank, because the ability just to get around that map so quickly and use that massive gun. It's got high pen, just everything, almost everything about the tank is fantastic. It just needs to be played correctly. I mean, you can snapshot. The snapshot is great. You poke out, snapshot, back in again, and just get cover. And again, when you feel you're ready, and when you feel that your team needs you to relocate, you've got that speed. You've got that speed to relocate very, very quickly. So just 2 tanks left alive now. Our guys managed to get, I mean, it says 3.5, but he did get some blind damage, I think, into the waffle. So he's more on about, what, 6k damage. He's now on 6k damage. So just 2 tanks left alive. Unfortunately, can't quite help his Sheridan, but he hasn't had to move. He's literally sat in this bush all battle and has not had to move. And that is how you should be playing this tank. And when you need to move, if this Sheridan now dies, you can move. You can get around the map. The Foch is there. Of course, the 60 TP is a 1-shot. He's going to get this shot into the Foch to now make him a 1-shot. So even though the Sheridan now is about to die, he can still easily win this game, and that's because both tanks are one shots and he's got the speed over these guys. Yeah, the Foch is quite quick, but yeah, I absolutely love the grille. This game, absolutely fantastic. Over 6k damage, and he hasn't had to move, and he doesn't want to move because he doesn't need to move. And that's the thing, like some people automatically like, oh, move, run away. No, you don't need to. He doesn't need to. He's going to wait in a bush and he's going to get that kill, and he's only now just been spotted, so he's going to just reset his camo. And even at this point, he can still take a shot from this Foch. So he's going to just go forward. Yes, he's going to take a shot, but because of that, he now is spotted, and he can snapshot straight into the front of his face, and he gets a nice victory there. So perfect way to play the grille. Just sit behind your team, farm up some damage, and then later on, if you've still got the hit points, you can run around the map like a lost puppy, and you can just clean up. So thank you guys for sending these replays. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm meadsy69, and I will catch you all soon. Bye bye. With